In part 1, we told you exactly how Walgreens went from a $100 billion American institution to a private equity fire sale. 5 catastrophic mistakes, a decade of destruction, and a Wall Street firm called Sycamore Partners buying the wreckage for a fraction of what it was once worth. But here is the thing about private equity. The real story does not start when they sign the deal. It starts the morning after. And what Sycamore has done in the 6 months since taking over, the layoffs, the benefit cuts, the store closures, and a plot twist nobody predicted, is the story Wall Street does not want you paying attention to. If you have not watched part 1, the link is in the description. But if you are ready, let us pick up exactly where we left off. August 28, 2025. Walgreens is officially private. New CEO Mike Motz is in the building. Sycamore Partners gets to work. Private equity firms move fast. They have to. They are paying interest on billions of dollars in debt every single day, and every day that passes costs money. Within weeks of the deal closing, Sycamore made its first moves. First, corporate layoffs. In October 2025, Walgreens let go of just over 80 corporate employees. According to internal emails obtained by Crane's Chicago business, CEO Mike Motz confirmed the company had said goodbye to just over 80 loyal colleagues whose roles were no longer needed. The biggest cut was the communications team, a department of more than 40 people slashed to fewer than 8. Media relations, pharmaceutical communications, retail communications, gone. Whatever remained would now be overseen by the legal department. The downtown Chicago office was closed. This was the warm-up. Then came the move that genuinely shocked Walgreens' own workers and made national headlines. In early October, just weeks after Sycamore took over, workers were quietly told about a change to their benefits. 6 paid holidays eliminated. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day. Full-time hourly Walgreens workers who had been with the company for at least 6 months used to receive holiday pay, even if they did not work those days. That benefit was gone. Bloomberg News broke the story in November after reviewing internal documents and interviewing workers. One store manager said she estimated she would lose more than $1,000 from her annual pay because of the change, and was already planning to cut her family's vacation to make up the difference. For context, CVS, Walgreens' biggest competitor, still provides full-time workers with 7 paid holidays and additional pay if they work on those days. Jim Baker, executive director of the private equity stakeholder project, called it, and I'm quoting directly, downright cruel. He said it was a warning sign of what might lie ahead. Sycamore declined to comment. Walgreens did not respond. Then February 2026 arrived, and the cuts got bigger. On February 10th, Walgreens filed a worker adjustment and retraining notification, a federal WARN Act filing with the Illinois Department of Commerce. Then on February 12th and 18th, another set of notices landed with the Texas Workforce Commission. Here is what those government filings revealed. In Illinois, 469 positions were eliminated across analytics, supply chain management, product management, engineering, and human resources, the corporate core of the company, concentrated at the Deerfield headquarters. In Texas, 159 warehouse and logistics workers at the Houston Distribution Center on 1805 Greens Road, near George Bush Intercontinental Airport, a 500,000 square foot facility built in 2008, permanently closing on June 1st, 2026. Total confirmed cuts from these WARN filings alone, 628 jobs. A law firm called Strauss Borelli has opened a WARN Act investigation into both sets of layoffs, examining whether Walgreens gave workers the legally required 60 days advance notice. Under federal law, if a company fails to comply, affected workers may be entitled to 60 days of back pay and benefits. Walgreens confirmed the layoffs in a statement, saying the company was focused on simplifying the organization to speed up decision-making. Translation: fewer people, leaner overhead, more cash available to service the debt. Just 5 months after the deal closed, 9,000 Walgreens workers had already lost their jobs through closures and cuts combined. 9,000 people. In 5 months. at a company that employed 220,000 people the day Sycamore took over. Now, here is where the story takes a turn that nobody fully predicted. Before Sycamore closed the deal, Walgreens had announced plans to close 1,200 stores over 3 years. Critics feared private equity would only accelerate that pace. So what actually happened? By early 2026, Walgreens had already closed more than 500 of those 1,200 targeted stores. But the pace of new closures for 2026 has actually slowed. According to CNBC, Walgreens plans to close around 350 stores in 2026. As of right now, Walgreens operates 7,960 stores. Why the slowdown? Because Sycamore is running a 5-company breakup simultaneously, and they need to understand what each piece is worth before they start selling. Closing stores too aggressively right now could suppress the valuation of the core pharmacy business before they can sell it. But do not mistake a slower pace for good news. Walgreens executives have openly acknowledged that roughly 25% of the chain's remaining stores are still not profitable, nearly 2,000 locations still bleeding cash. The closures are slower. They are not over. To understand where Walgreens might be heading, you need to look at what Sycamore did the last time they installed this exact playbook at Staples. Sycamore Partners took Staples private in 2017 and brought in Mike Motz as CEO of Staples US Retail. The same Mike Motz now running Walgreens. Under Sycamore's ownership, Staples closed roughly 1/3 of all its US stores, hundreds of locations, tens of thousands of workers let go. And while those stores were closing, Sycamore added debt to Staples' balance sheet and extracted a $1 billion dividend payment to itself. The firm also transferred Staples' $150 million headquarters building to itself. The $1 billion payout went to Sycamore, not to Staples, not to the workers, while the company was contracting. Then there is Nine West, the fashion brand Sycamore once owned. When Nine West filed for bankruptcy in 2018, creditors accused Sycamore in court filings of stripping the brand for parts and deliberately sinking it with $800 million in debt. Now look at Walgreens. Same private equity firm, same CEO, same debt-heavy structure, financed at 70.9% debt according to Walgreens' own proxy statement, nearly double the 41% industry average. Jim Baker of the PE Stakeholder Project said it directly at Staples. Workers and communities paid the price while Sycamore extracted over $1 billion. Walgreens workers and patients are now wondering whether Sycamore is applying the same playbook again. Now I want to explain something almost no mainstream outlet has clearly told you, because the story of Walgreens and every pharmacy chain closing stores right now is not only about bad acquisitions or private equity. There is a hidden villain in this story. They are called PBMs, pharmacy benefit managers. Here is how it works in plain language. When you walk into a Walgreens and hand over your insurance card to fill a prescription, you assume the pharmacy is getting paid a fair amount for that medication. They often are not. PBMs are middlemen hired by insurance companies to negotiate drug prices. They sit between the drug manufacturer, the insurance company, and the pharmacy, and they take a cut at every step. In some cases, pharmacies are reimbursed below their actual cost for filling a prescription. They are literally losing money on some medications they are required to fill. The FTC and members of Congress have both investigated PBM practices, and scrutiny has grown throughout 2025 and 2026. But as analysts have noted, the reforms have come too late to save Rite Aid, and they may be arriving too slowly to save the traditional brick-and-mortar pharmacy model. PBMs did not cause Walgreens' collapse alone, but they created the economic environment that made it inevitable. Walgreens was running from a slow fire and ran straight into a burning building. While all of this was happening, Walgreens closing stores, cutting holidays, laying off workers, splitting into pieces, one company was quietly, systematically winning everything: Amazon. Amazon launched Amazon Pharmacy in 2020, 2 years after acquiring prescription delivery service PillPack for $753 million. While Walgreens and CVS were fighting for survival, Amazon was building a logistics network designed to make the neighborhood drugstore unnecessary. On February 11, 2026, Amazon issued an official press release announcing that by the end of this year, Amazon Pharmacy will offer same-day prescription delivery to nearly 4,500 cities and towns across the United States, adding nearly 2,000 new communities in 2026 alone. Prime members can save up to 80% on generic medications and 40% on brand-name drugs at no additional cost. A program called RX Pass gives Prime members access to more than 50 commonly prescribed medications for just $5 a month, now available in 48 states. And here is the detail that should stop you cold. Amazon's own press release explicitly states this expansion is designed to address, and I am quoting their words directly, pharmacy closures, staffing shortages, and transportation barriers. They are not hiding who they are replacing, they are advertising it. Every Walgreens that closes is a community Amazon Pharmacy steps into. Every prescription that cannot be filled locally is a Prime subscription that just became more valuable. Amazon did not need to buy Walgreens. They just needed Walgreens to keep closing stores and then show up for the people left behind. So where does Walgreens go from here? There are 3 realistic scenarios, and nobody knows which one plays out. That uncertainty is exactly what makes this the most consequential corporate story in America right now. Scenario A, the turnaround. Sycamore sells off Boots, Shields and CareCentrix at strong valuations, unloads Village MD, and uses the proceeds to pay down the $18.8 billion debt. The core Walgreens pharmacy chain emerges smaller, leaner, rebuilt around micro-fulfillment and automation. Private equity executes the playbook. Walgreens survives in a different form. Scenario B, the slow bleed. PBM margins keep compressing. Interest payments consume cash flow. The 1,200 store closure plan expands. Financial distress sets in. Another Rite Aid, but 10 times the size and 10 times the community impact. Scenario C, the Amazon ending. Walgreens shrinks to a shadow of itself. Amazon captures the prescription volume in every neighborhood where a store closed. The corner drugstore, that institution that has existed in this country for over 100 years, quietly disappears. Not with a dramatic bankruptcy, with a slow, systematic fade. I am tracking every move Sycamore makes, every asset sale, every worn filing. Part 3 is coming the moment the next chapter breaks. 6 months in. 628 confirmed jobs cut from worn filings alone. 9,000 workers already gone from closures and cuts combined. Holidays stripped before Thanksgiving. And Amazon showing up in every community Walgreens abandons. The question is no longer whether Walgreens will change. It already has. The question is whether what comes out the other side is a business worth having, or a cautionary tale that business schools will study for the next 50 years. Drop a comment right now. Which scenario do you think plays out? The turnaround, the slow bleed, or the Amazon takeover? Let me know below. If you are not subscribed yet, hit that button. We cover the biggest corporate battles in American history every week in a way nobody else does. Part 3 is coming. Do not miss it.